Yes, people, thought we'd get started. Eunice is actually backstage, but he's just a little tied up right now. Let's see who's in the chat. Let me pick up the peoples. I don't want to keep you lot waiting too long. Brandon, I see you. Man said Turbo Timo for Ballon d'Or. Maybe. If he scores 4 tomorrow, then he's definitely in for a shout. Craig Malloy, big up yourself, my bro. At the Time podcast, can't wait for back again episode. Yeah, you know what? I told them what they needed to hear, to be honest with you. Although I didn't feel that I got everything off my chest, but that's coming. Listen, we got time. We've got plenty of time to go. Shane reckons we're going to win 3-0 tomorrow. That is optimism and a half. Hey, people that's in there, make sure you smash up that like button. Subscribe as well if you are new to this platform. We are trying to get to the road to 10K. You will see it on the artwork. I have not forgotten about it. When this does pop in, you will see the road to 10K going on the page. Tales of the Blanco, obviously not a Madrid fan. Tuchel has 0 chance of winning. Playing with the 5 at the back will be the same story again of Real Madrid playing their midfielders and fullbacks wide, which completely destroys your press. All right. So there's winning and there's going through. Winning, we can absolutely beat you at Bernabeu. Going through is a different question. That's a different question altogether. SanW Gaming says same. Don't know what he meant same to, but big up yourself. Jake has an interesting score prediction, but will not jinx it. Tales of the Blanco, Tuchel will not go to a back 4. You are buzzing, my friend. He is not playing no back 4 against you. It's going to be a back 5, and we can still open you up. Don't get it twisted. Man, like Daniel Knight, what's going on? Ilias, big up yourself. Karan, big up yourself. Footy Taha, big up yourself. Ariana Cooper, come on, big up yourself. Guni, I'm the Chelsea type because we win. Hey, we need that positivity, cuz. Need that positivity. Andrew Fraser Jr., first time I seen your name in here. Big up yourself. I'm not an optimist, but I just feel like we can do something. I think a lot of Chelsea fans are feeling that way. Chelsea perspective, big up yourself as well. Jaco, big up yourself. Guni, we can overturn this tie. A lot of optimism from the Chelsea fan base, man. A lot of optimism. And obviously, that confidence is stemming from the absolute 6-0 battering that we saw, because that was one thing that we was concerned about. We're not taking our chances. We can't put it away when it counts. Southampton, Real Madrid, 2 different tests, but it's good that we had our shooting boots on the game prior to this one. That's going to fill us with confidence, obviously. So hopefully we can pull off a miracle. Chichi Eze says, are you nervous? Of course, I'm always nervous for big nights like this. Even if we was 3-1 up, I'd still be nervous. But the fact that we don't have anything to lose makes us more of a dangerous animal, in my opinion. Yeah, man, it's good to have you on the live, though. Big up yourself on Andrew. Lenin Figueroa, what's good? Laguni, Brian. Hey, we need to. What that situation has gone quiet. We need to know. Obviously, it's looking like Americans are gonna take over the thing. So Laguni, Brian does sound about right. You get me? Keanu, big up yourself. Real Madrid won't give Werner the space that Southampton did. I wouldn't start him. That's what I think as well. Away goals don't count, Craig Malloy. They don't actually count. Shave Mount's hair off and do bang in the double hat trick tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Personally, I'm not nervous. If it was 2-1, I'd be nervous. But as it is 3-1, I'm not nervous. I feel like we could do something, but I am not sure. Hey, Boogs, my brother, big up yourself. Real Madrid fan. Why do Chelsea fans don't like Courtois? You got to check that out. You 1,000% got to check out the history and how he left Chelsea Football Club to join your club over at Real Madrid. Had he had been more respectful, had he had not been, see you next Tuesday about it, then he probably would have had a bit more respect. But it's just the way he handled things. It just wasn't proper. Thoughts on Arsenal getting humbled? It's exactly it. They got humbled. They got what they deserved. They were way too ahead of themselves. Some Arsenal man were even talking about finishing 3rd. But these times, it's looking likely they're going to get 8th. Because their run of games is looking long. And their injury list is deep. The fact that Tierney's out is long for them. The fact that Thomas Partey is out, is long for them. That's 2 key players out of the mix. And who's going to replace Partey in that midfield? Because now you're seeing Xhaka playing as a left back. Partey is being replaced by a man like Lokonga. And if you watched against Brighton, bruv, Sambi Lokonga looks like he should be called Simba. Yeah? And what they should have done with Simba Lokonga is thrown him off Pride Rock. That's what they should have done. They should have thrown Simba Lokonga. They should have thrown him off of Pride Rock, because that guy is a fraud. That brother, I know he's young, but fam, to lose the ball that many times, I dare Mason Mount or even Billy or somebody young to do the same thing. Simba Lukonga, you should have been thrown off Pride Rock by Mufasa. And I stay by that point. That guy is a fraud with a capital F. But we have Eunice. He has returned. What is going on, Eunice?
Yes, people. I'm good, man. How are you?
Not too bad. There's a little bit of delay. Let's see if I can...
There is a delay, isn't it? What's going on?
No idea. Let's see if you can... Do you mind jumping out and jumping back in to see if we can fix this?
Absolutely. I'll be back.
Hey, listen. Sambi is not Sambi. He's Simba or Bambi Lokonga. That's better. Bambi Lokonga. That's another one. Yeah? There we go. Let's give this another go. How's it going, Eunice?
Lovely.
Yes, we are no longer lagging. Yay, there we go.
Technicians in the house.
Yes, we do. We've got, listen, man, take 2 and it worked. Bruv, I'm in a good mood. I've just come from Barstool Sports, filming with my 2 favourite Arsenal fans, aka Troops and Zar. Absolutely loved it. I got to look Zar in the eye and ask him the question about Arsenal finishing 3rd. I got to look Troops in the eye and ask him, aren't you supposed to be 2 points off Chelsea by now? Yeah? Aren't we supposed to be dragged into this top 4 race? Yeah? What's going on there? Lads?
We'll be making top 4, 100%. Hey, the next game, or not the next game, the one after, we play Arsenal.
That's our next Prem game.
It's our next Prem game, isn't it? Yeah, we could.
Yes.
Honestly, we could be the final nail in the coffin, man. We could be the ones kicking them out of the top 4 indefinitely.
I'm telling you, if Arsenal finish 8th, it's going to be a joy to behold.
No, they won't finish 8th. They won't finish 8th.
Bro, hey, it's not beyond the realm of impossibility, fam, because listen to what I'm saying. They've got the mighty Chelsea, then they've got the other North London guys that are in good form right now.
Yeah.
They also have Manchester United to play. I believe they've got...
I think they beat United, just saying.
They're a funny one. But they've got a lot of work to do. I think Spurs will get top 4. I think so. They will. They've got the best manager. They've got the best attackers out of the ones that are left in the club. They've got the best squad out of the ones that are left in the race. Because for me, I feel that we're going to be safe. I'm not going to overdo it, but I do feel we're going to be safe. I still think 3rd place is going to be ours. But for Arsenal... 100%. For Arsenal, I think they're in big trouble. And everybody that is joining into the channel just now, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe as well. And Eunice's details are down there, so give my brother subscribe. If you are not one of the over 100k people already following Eunice, make sure you subscribe. Road to 200k for Eunice, road to 10k for myself. You get me? We are going to make this happen. I'm going to start on some positive terms now because I didn't get your feedback on the 6-0. It's not the same watching your previews. I'd prefer to ask you. So let's talk about this emphatic 6-0 victory where we saw Timo Werner go absolute Super Saiyan 4, hit the crossbar and the post. Yeah, so all 3 parts of the frame, but still got his 2 goals. I got to hear your views on this, bruv.
It's mad, isn't it? I didn't expect it. I honestly thought 1-0, something cagey. We won't be great. But then they give us this hope, bruv. All of a sudden, we know how to play football properly. We're killing the opponent. We're 2-0 up after 16 minutes. Werner scoring goals. I mean, the complete opposite of the Real Madrid game. So that was wonderful to have. As Guni's suffering lag, similar to how Southampton suffered lag. Hopefully you're not going to get 6-0'd. But we were fantastic, man. We were class. But ultimately, we needed that. We needed a performance like that. I didn't think we'd get it, but we got it. So happy days. Now we move on to Real Madrid. But that Southampton performance, class, Werner scoring twice, didn't think he would. He could have scored 5. You know, if it wasn't for Forster, Chelsea could have scored about 12. Mate, mad.
Yeah, it was just everything just went right for us, man. And to be honest with you, it was really that game a lot of us were looking to, like, right, you know, again, I think you're right by saying it should be more than a bounce back. Because bounce backs are temporary. You want to keep something permanent going. And I felt, I absolutely felt that Tuchel, something went down behind closed doors before that game.
100%, yeah.
And after the loss against Real Madrid, I reckon he was probably close to putting hands on people. It wouldn't surprise me if he slapped a few man and said, "You better get it together, fam." Yeah, but boy, why is this alarm going off? Go away. But yeah, talk about rocket up the arse, boy. It was more than that. C4s, all kinds of stuff was going on at St. Mary's Stadium. But this sets us up well for a very difficult but a very, very different experience. And the first time experience for Chelsea, actually, going to the Santiago Bernabeu in the second leg of the Champions League quarter-final.
Yeah, we've never been there, have we?
No, we haven't.
Never.
This is our first time, and we are going there with a 3-1 deficit. Not really the scoreline that we want to go there to, but we are Chelsea. Stranger things have happened in football, and I have a comment section, well, a chat section that seems to be more optimistic than, you know, skeptical of Chelsea making it through. I think that's a very good sign in terms of the positivity, but let's look at the game tomorrow, bro. I can't help but feel after that performance yesterday, sorry, not yesterday, over the weekend,
Day before,
that has given me some renewed belief. Although I will still manage my expectations and still say that I have Real Madrid still at that 70% mark to go through.
Yeah,
and us at that 30% mark. But remember, when you put that into context, this is Real Madrid I'm talking about. It could have been worse. It could be a 10-90. But I do believe with the manager that we've got and the crop of players that we have, 2 goals in the first half, and we keep them quiet, the game is different. It's squeaky bum time for them because they can't defend as well as nowhere near as good as we can. But they compensate with that attacking wise.
yeah.
But we get them 2 goals, bro. I'm telling you, we're going through. And if we go through, I think we go to the final. I don't care who we're facing. Whether it's Man City next round, I reckon if we pull this off, we're going to the final, bro.
Bro, no. If we win tomorrow, we're winning the thing.
We're winning the Champions League.
We're winning the damn thing, bro. It's
do this.
not just getting to the final, bro. It would be such a task to get past tomorrow that if we do it, surely we win it. Like, even other teams would be looking and going, "Oh my god, they're doing it again, aren't they? They're doing it again." Like, but we have to get that job done tomorrow, man. It's not going to be easy. I've already seen, I'm seeing a lot of Chelsea fans, and rightfully so. They're optimistic, going, "Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do." And I understand it. That's all part and parcel of being a football fan. You want that emotion, but we have to be realistic as well. We need to score twice, not concede, and that's just to get through to extra time.
Exactly.
But 3 goals to win the tie. That's a mountain to climb. Now, if we get an early goal, honestly, this is the thing where I think it's going to be done. Yeah, whoever gets the first goal is done. Is getting this tie.
Yeah, it's either game on or the game's done.
Exactly. Yeah, and if they score first, we might as well just pack our bags and save the trouble. If we score first, I think we get a second. Game on, tie on. Let's see who goes through.
Absolutely. No, I reckon so as well. Thank you very much to Real Jamil for the super chat. Boys, the first 10 minutes of this game tomorrow will be important. I'm not expecting a goal, but the first 10 minutes will show if the boys are up for it. I think this is key. I think, honestly, although it is more risky than a Southampton, but I do think that we have got to hit the ground running like we did against Southampton and put the fear of God in them immediately.
Have to. We've got nothing to lose.
We've got nothing to lose. We've got the ability to do that. I've spoken to 1 or 2 others in the interactive live chat, got some very, very good insight. One of them actually truthfully said as well that Real Madrid are not good on the back foot. they don't want to be finding themselves on the back foot for the majority of the game because they will leak goals. But then at the same time, we've got to keep their main star man quiet, Mr. Karim Benzema, who absolutely ran riot. Honestly, I feel all three of his goals, had there had been some more concentration and actually some alertness from Thiago Silva and one or two others, that he didn't have to score them goals. But the quality of him is that the chance fell for him. World-class Benzema, he's taken all three of them. Exactly. But even after that game and the shocker that Thiago Silva had, I still have faith and belief that Thiago Silva, Rudiger, and whoever's gonna join them two, I think they can still keep him quiet. And some people are probably gonna be watching this and hearing and being like, oh, "You're crazy! Look what he done to you at the bridge." That's one game. That's a bad game for both Thiago Silva and Rudiger, which rarely happens. I reckon they get it together for this game. I do feel optimistic, but I want to be careful and still respect Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? But
not give them too much respect, but respect for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But one thing that's obviously going to be key to this game is personnel selection. Now, I've seen quite a few people on the socials. They're talking about, why not go with the same lineup we did against Southampton? Well, here's my concern. I wouldn't want, although on paper Loftus-Cheek wasn't playing that right wing back role, he played the majority of the game there. I felt he done a good job, but my concern with that is against a Real Madrid where they're so lethal on the wings. Yep. Having Marcos Alonso, who is a no-brainer for me to start in this game, as well as Ruben Loftus-Cheek, leaves us a bit more exposed than I would like. So,
completely agree.
So for me, it's a Reece James situation, but even with Reece James, he's got to know when to bomb forward, and when that right centre back is going to need his assistance. He's going to need his help because he really left Christensen isolated. Although Christensen didn't help himself a couple of the times, in my opinion, but I think that James, had he had been there to help him out, it wouldn't have been a worse game as bad for Christensen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in terms of personnel selection, are there any changes that you would make from Southampton, or even from the first leg? Are there any changes that you would make?
I'd rather base it off the Southampton result because that was a positive result, a very positive one. I personally think, Thomas Tuchel is going to go with. I mean, you don't drop Rudiger and Silva, you don't. So they're definitely a start. The debate throughout the whole pitch, I feel like, is who's going to be that third centre back. Again, I'm quoting this. I think we'll go to a back three. We won't play a back four. I think he's going to stick with Christensen. That's my prediction. I look at the others. You can play Reece James at right centre back, but then you need to try and figure out who's playing right wing back. And as far as I'm concerned, that's got to be Reece James.
It has to be.
We need to score twice. We're not here to defend the result. We need to go out and actually score. Reece James is a threat, so he needs to be on that side. So it can't be him. You have two other options. You can go with experience and go with Aspie.
Yeah.
But if you go with Aspie, there is always the risk that if his experience isn't enough and Vinicius does find space in behind him, he will rip him to shreds. Yeah. By pace, he will rip him to shreds. Now, there's a chance he might not, because experience can play a part. If he's able to read the game better than Vinicius, he'll be able to position himself to a point where he won't be able to run past him. That's a possibility, but it's a risk. If Aspie does suffer in terms of pace, he will get skinned. So that's another thing. Chalobah for pace, I feel like will actually be able to handle Vinicius. But the inexperience is where he'll probably let him down.
Yes.
You saw the past few performances of Chalobah. Shirt pulling, needless tackles, poor positioning. We can't have any of that.
That's what I'm scared of, especially in Europe. You know how these referees are when these, La Liga players go down in the box, bruv. Yeah. Can't have that. And I thought about Chalobah as well. But for those reasons is that, because before his last two games, right, he wasn't putting a foot in wrong. And then started coming, because the mistakes that he was making from the first game where he was shaky to the second, you can see in the second one was where He was doubting himself. It was frustration.
Yeah.
And we can't allow that to spill over in this second leg. Absolutely not. Not saying that he's a bad player, but I just think mentally for this game, from what he's just come from, I think he needs to sit this one out and allow somebody, like, to the point where I actually agree with this comment here from T-Dot, big up yourself, where if it's not going to be Christensen, I would rather see Aspi do the right centre-back role.
100%, yeah. 100%. But ultimately, I think Christensen is going to be given another chance. Because, yes, he had one bad game.
Yeah, I think so too.
In the first leg. Shocking, right? But throughout that entire defence, I don't think it's a case of the personnel were wrong. I think it's just a case of each player letting themselves down in certain aspects, you know. Reece James not being able to track back in time to be able to assist Christensen allowing space in behind, Silva dragging deep to try and help Christensen, allowing space for Benzema to get in. I just think it's tactical. I don't think it's personnel issue. I think it was just in terms of placement, positioning and tactical influence. That is it. And I think tomorrow there won't be any room to make mistakes like that. Thomas Tuchel would have drilled it into them that you are doing this and you are doing this and you are doing this and you're going to stick to that as you normally do. So absolutely. I think it's going to be Christensen alongside the other two.
And do you know what? A part of me thinks that leaving Christensen out at this time would slightly be bad man management as well. Because listen, regardless of, you know, the perceived stinker that he did have at Stamford Bridge, it's one in very, very few that we see from Andreas Christensen. So I think to give him the benefit of the doubt would be the right thing. I wouldn't be disappointed to see him there. And I do think Christensen will bounce back and put in a solid performance. And our best, and remember, and to the people in the comments, our best chance of a clean sheet is proven that it is them three: Christensen, Thiago Silva, and Rudiger. We don't concede as many goals when they're in defence. Usually, obviously, last game against Real Madrid is an exception to the rule, but usually we're good. I seen a question: what is the key to scoring against Real Madrid? It's like we were saying, we cannot afford to sit back, allow them to just have possession, enjoy it, ping the ball back and forth. Nah. We've got to be aggressive. We've got to be ruthless. Yes, we're going to leave spaces if we're going to be aggressively pressing, if we're going to be persistent with the high line. But this is the time where you need to take that risk. You have to. You have to take that risk. 2 goals before half-time is going to be absolutely key. That is the only way I see us winning it. Can we do it? Absolutely. You saw on the weekend that when we've got our shooting boots on, it's going to be hard to stop us. And on top of that, that we create opportunities because, come on, Timo still got 2 goals and he hit the bar 3 times.
Yeah.
I've never seen him have that many opportunities, but I honestly feel like the boys are gonna while out. I do. I think the boys are really gonna put in a performance tomorrow, and for me, as long as they put in that performance 110% and play for the shirt, if we don't go through, I'm not gonna be pissed off. I won't be pissed off.
Completely. There's a mindset thing coming into this. As I've said. The question, what's the key to scoring against Madrid? No fear. Going all out. We got nothing to lose. We're 3-1 down.
Yeah.
Go out there and get a win, man. Go out there and get the goals you need to go through. Simple as that. But I hope that there's going to be a bit of complacency from Real Madrid. I hope. I don't expect it, but I hope there is, and I hope there's a case of, oh yeah, we're 2 goals up. We've got this. If they go in with that mentality, we can capitalize, man. We need to shock them with the first goal early. If we go into halftime 1-0 up, that's a good situation. If we go into halftime 2-0 up, it's 0-0. It's all to play for. Yeah, so I honestly think it's a case of take the sword to them, take the gate to them, throw the kitchen sink. Don't be scared. Be cautious defensively. Everyone needs to play their role properly. No mistakes, no clumsiness, no space. Tight marking, like that's key. We need to be able to mark this time. That would be great. And going forward, create and try and score as many goals as you can, man. That's it. That is it. We need to take control of the game tomorrow.
Yeah, we have to. Absolutely. Ian Gaffogo. Do you remember when Chelsea made a comeback against Napoli 10 years ago with 3-1 result? No disrespect to that Napoli team, but they weren't turning over Champions League back-to-back for jokes. It's a completely different context.
It's completely different.
Yeah, I respect the team, but you've got to look at who we're facing and some of the individuals in this team. Like it's no joke. But looking back to our team, Eunice, the midfield pivot, if we're gonna play the midfield pivot, but does the personnel stay the same? Is it a cover Kante pivot?
Oh yeah, big time. 100%. There's no question on that. Kovacic is our best midfielder right now. Kante needs to be on this pitch. It's those two.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think because this statement's true from Keanu. They're not a team that really sit back, but
there's a difference. They don't sit back, but they will counter.
And they're very good at that as well. They're lethal at that.
Yeah,
they're lethal at that. But you see where I think that plays to our advantage as well is you see our day when our press is coordinated and you've got somebody who's actually leading the press at the right time and the players are switching on around them. I think we do Real Madrid all day long, bruv. If that press is on point tomorrow, I'm talking from their final third all the way back to our goal. They're not going to get nothing out of this game. Because I've seen us press the shit out of teams and absolutely just be brilliant through that way. There's no reason as to why we can't do that tomorrow. Absolutely none.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Physically, it's going to be a key aspect. I think this ties back into the case of having no fear and nothing to lose. Like, we need to be able to just leave everything on the pitch. And that involves serious pressing, serious pressure, full intensity. If your legs are about to fall off, you keep going. That's the sort of game we've put ourselves in this situation, and this is where it could be bittersweet in a good way, as in we've put ourselves in the mud so far that now we can afford to just remain dirty. Do you know what I mean? We've put ourselves in a situation where we actually have to go out for the kill because we have no choice. We have no choice. So if your legs are going to fall off, tough, deal with it. That's the mentality of tomorrow. So yeah, in terms of physical, serious pressure, serious high pressing, we need to be able to do all that. And I think we will. This
is an interesting question, Eunice. Does Werner merit a start in this game? Now, you see why I come up with this question is because I'd like to think that although Real Madrid are 3-1 up, I'd still like to think that they're not going to sit back and that there will be space in behind that defense. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking Ancelotti might just respect us as European champions and just try and do the counter thing. And then that kind of renders Timo Werner almost useless because we know when he's playing in front of defenders and he's got to hold up the ball or he's got to come up with some way to beat the player, it's almost impossible for him. It's no use. But but go on.
With this, I honestly, for me personally, I just think tactically he starts and not by himself. We need to score 2 goals. We ain't got a choice. So with bearing the performance against Southampton in mind, I'm not even looking at a case where he needs to find space in behind. We need numbers. And we need, look, right now, if you know where the goal is, just shoot. Just try and do what you can to just hit it to the goal, bro. I don't care if you've got 3 defenders in front of you. Link up and shoot. Do something. Like, we need, as far as I'm concerned, Mace to remain in the middle. I don't want him drifting out. Mm-hmm. That is where I look at how we should set up. If we're sticking the double pivot with Mace in front of them or behind Kai Havertz, that means we can't play with wing forwards. That means we're going to have to play with 2 strikers in front of Mason. If we're playing 2 strikers, play Havertz and Werner. That's it. And then allow, hopefully, Mason to have impact in that central role. And just take it to their centre-backs. At that point, just take them to the sword.
Could you imagine if Timo Werner gets the 2 goals that we need? Or could you imagine that he got a hat-trick?
He's forgiven for everything.
Eunice, what I'm about to say is the wildest. It's mad. Yeah, it's crazy. And people are going to think like, Guni, how can you think this? I would not even be surprised if it happens, you know. And I don't know why. I would not be surprised if Timo is that guy to turn things around for Chelsea tomorrow. And it's just written in the stars for him. And this is how his career at Chelsea was supposed to start.
He's like 18 months late.
Yeah. But when you look at it, because listen, as well, you know Eder Militao's not going to be available. He's suspended.
He's not, yeah, he's suspended.
So who comes in place for him?
Nacho will be coming in.
Nacho was he ain't keeping up with Timo.
Nacho is quite versatile.
But
in terms of keeping up, you're right. He won't.
If he needs to run back to goal, yeah, it's a problem. Yeah, look, the people that have started already. Guni, you've been smoking. Like, Guni, you've gone too far, yeah. Like, Guni, you've gone too far. You've gone too far. Now, do you know what, Jace? Today's actually been... I haven't even bun a spliff yet, to tell you the truth. I had a little bit on one, but I didn't... Nah, not my usual. I'm clean today. Maybe I do need to smoke more. I don't know. Is that the case then, Jace?
You be here singing Whitney Houston, bruv.
Troops, man. Hey, bruv. I'm telling ya.
He was hitting them notes. If you can hit similar notes, bruv, do it.
But, bruv, it's one of those ones. It's a wild, outrageous take, yeah? Let's not get it twisted. I know what came out of my mouth. But honestly speaking, would you be surprised if Timo got 2 goals to at least tie this?
Yes and no. Like, no for the same reasons as you, but, like, yes, because out of all scenarios, if he scored 2 goals, following the career he's had at Chelsea so far, it'd be ridiculous.
Well, we seen
I'll take it.
Torres scored the 3rd goal, so it can kind of be argued that we was all right, but still, I'm just gonna be shameless and say that the 50 M's was paid at that point when Torres scored that goal.
I remember when Torres scored that goal. Prior to that, when we went 2-0 down, John Terry just got sent off, and we were 10 men. Iniesta scores. Yeah. We're finished.
We're done.
And then we scored twice.
Ramirez with bruv. This is what I'm saying.
That finish was
Chelsea have a knack of doing things that just out of the ordinary in situations like this. Ramirez will never ever score a goal like that again in his career. Ever. And look at the occasion he done it in. And then Torres, the way he rounded the keeper, and even Gary Neville, the celebrations. This is what I'm saying. These things are out of the ordinary, and only Chelsea Football Club can do this. But let me put this question in the comments, yeah? Obviously, I'm the type of guy, I like to see form rewarded with trust. Yeah. But in a game like this where it's tactical, I'm seeing quite a few people saying Ruben Loftus-Cheek needs to retain his position as right wing back. I don't necessarily agree, but I'm interested to see what the people in the chat are saying about that. While we discuss a little bit more, because I know you got flip. Eunice, how much time have you got? I think I've kept you a bit over time, haven't I?
I've got a few minutes.
All right. Okay, so I won't go into the lineups. What I'll do is tomorrow I'm going to be going live. I might try and get you on tomorrow if you got time after the League Gunner thing.
Yeah, that's a shout.
Yeah, so then we can just go through our lineups and stuff like that in tomorrow's preview. But right now, Eunice, I'll just end it here. We'll do a part 2 tomorrow, right before the game, because I know I was supposed to be here by 6:30 UK time, but unfortunately I was a little bit delayed. But what we'll do is we'll do a part 2 tomorrow morning after the show with Lee Gunner and Northside. They're going to be needing therapy differently.
That's going to be fun.
Yes, that is going to be enjoyable. So for sure, after that, me and Eunice will go live, and then we will be doing the watch along as well. Well, I'll be doing the watch along on my channel as well. I don't know if Shoops is going to want to join in. He might be busy with the family, but if he does, he's more than welcome. And I beg, if he does join this, it's going to be written in the stars that we're going to the semi-finals, because that will be the biggest egg on his face ever. But to everybody watching, we are going to be doing a part 2 tomorrow after League Gunners stream. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, please make sure you do stay safe. And also, as well, smash that like button, subscribe if you are new. We are on the road to 10k. Let's make this happen. Up the Chels. Thank you, Guni and Younes. We can do this. Come on, you Blues. 1000% we can do this. Come back for part 2 tomorrow. Respect, people. Oh yeah, we got one more message. From Jason Rice. Put Lee and Northside in the spliff. Hey, listen. Tomorrow's another day.
I mean, no, we'll take it easy on them. They're nice.
Yeah, tomorrow's another day. But right now, I've got Czar and Troops. they're being cured in a container that I can't show on camera because I'm not trying to get demonetized. But I will be crumbling them, putting them in my Rizzler, mixing up a bit of grabber in there, and I'll be smoking it with a big smile on my face. I promise every single one of you. But anyway, man, peoples, bless up. This fat bridge, I've seen you spam this message. I promise we'll come back to this. Goonie doesn't forget. Yeah, we'll come back to this tomorrow. All right, but people,